Alright, decided to make two videos out of it. It's easier. So this is where it came up, the last video you saw. And it comes up. I had to jog over to get in the middle, and I finally got the 3-inch vent above the ceiling. So what's going to happen is on this end of it, see what it says VTR, that's going to be a 90. It's going to go up and out. And that is my VTR, vent through roof. So what I also did was I popped this hole here. This is going to be the vent for the tub. This is the drain for the lavatory. So I did get the tub vent hole done. Now you'll see here how it actually took out the edge of the beam. Well, that's because of that restriction up there I was telling you about. It's so low there as compared to here, where I was actually able to get a fitting in there. If you're curious, that is a 60-degree bend. That is a 22.5. So that's what worked on that side. Probably have to do the same thing on this side. I tried a 45, it didn't work, so obviously it's not 45. I think it's 60 degrees at this cover for the dormer is. I actually have my digital compass and I want to look at that, but the fitting doesn't lie. The fitting's 60 degrees and it looks like it's going along even with the sheathing on the roof. That's it. So we ran that. The next one to tap this will be here. I have this 1.5 inch that is the vent for the laundry tray that's over there. And it's going to tap into the same 3-inch pipe. And the 3-inch pipe has to continue over this way. But look at that. I guessed that. And I have to jog over and get into this part for the vents from here. And I got one, remember, coming up from that bathroom. They're going to meet up with that up above in the peak there. So, of course, again, I don't blame these guys, the workers. It's whoever is managing them or supposed to be managing them. That's all I'm going to say. But I did, when they all got here, I explained to them that there's a pipe coming through here. So if you have to run anything across, you better make sure it's up high or somewhere that it won't be in the way. Well, I got to come through here and I got to turn a little bit, jog over that way. I really need to come right here. Well, what's right in the way? The only good news is flex pipe and not a hard trunk. That will be worse. So I'm just not sure how this works. And the other thing is I don't have anything here, but they just lost half the CFMs there. Combined with this move, I would say, oh, nice rip. I would say, what is this going over? This is the 12. Yeah, this is the main trunk. So the main trunk is over there, comes this way, and they squeeze it through there. And I'm no expert on the manufacturing, or I shouldn't say that. I actually am. I just don't do it every day. I've done it. I can do it. Or I'll say we. And probably next year we're going to tool for AC, by the way. We're licensed for it. Might as well. But this would never flush. I think what they should have done was cut out this plywood, and that would make plenty of room for that flex. Either way, I'm just going to push it up out of my way and secure my pipe in there. And then, I got to talk to him because I don't want to make it harder for him. If I put that pipe across there and I make my turn where I have to go and head out where I need to be, that will lock that flex in there. They'll never get it out. They'll get it out. It'll be torn to hell by the time they get it out, but it won't come easy. So I'm going to kind of talk to him tomorrow and say, hey, all you got to do is push it all the way up to the peak. See where the rafter is above it? Just take it all the way up, put some ties on it, and support it, and then I can sneak under it. The other problem they have is it's 12. By the time it's got smushed here and smushed there, it's really a 6, maybe. So while this long video is going on, so they did lay the unit down. See, in previous videos, I kept saying that this is where the unit's going to go, and I believe this one's a 2.5 ton. I believe it's a 2.5, 2.5. I haven't read the specs, but it looks like a 2 or a 2.5. I know the unit is a 60,000 on the heating side. Anyway, so once they put this wherever they want it, the next trick is to bring the natural gas line up for it. And I already predicted I'm going to come up here with natural gas, so that works. And also the condensate drain will be in this corner. But just looking, okay, you got that. Okay, this is the return. Who knows where that's going? Again, this is a you got like a 5 3/4 clearance there. Keep that in mind, 5 3/4 clearance, and this is a 12-inch. Even got 12 on it right there. I don't know. Not critiquing their work, but looking at what they did gives me other ideas. What I would have done if it was my house, I would have made this a hard piece coming through and broke the return down into 2 6s or something, because sheetrock is going here. And I guarantee you when the owner gets here and sees, now see, they did it right here. Here they did it right. This works. Should he use flat oval? See how it's beyond, so he can sheetrock. Yep, and then going that way. Flat oval again. Yep, that's the way to do it. I don't know what's over there even. I guess this is one of the registers. Why it's in the knee wall. Hey, they're not done. Let's see what happens when they're done. One thing I can tell you, that furnace is not gonna like this. You know, when you're doing hot air, we used to take a manometer, or sometimes called a manometer. I did it on a bunch of them, and you get a sensor on each side of the coil, and you take a reading to see what is it pulling in the return as opposed to what is it pushing on the header. And I guarantee if I put that meter on this, with this running, with that restriction, it can't get air in, and oh, I see. I bet you that middle one there is for this. And this is the one that's going to carry air all the way back. Maybe that's not a 12. Maybe it's a 10. Either way, when they design flex pipe, you get an inch deflection or 1.5 inch, 2 inch of flex. So if you have a 12-inch flex and you got to squish it around 10, 9, yeah, that's about as far as you push it. But here's a good shot. That is literally about 3 inches of space hidden under that plywood. So I believe this is yeah, I think this is 10-inch duct. It doesn't look to be as big. Yeah, this is the 10. So that's going to bring cool air and heat all the way back to this room. And I don't know. Let's see what it looks like when it's done. It's it's like I said, it's really none of my business. It is when stuff like this happens, especially when I made a speech twice. I told the foreman and I told the crew when they came here, I'm coming through here. Didn't mean anything. Now, I've been on jobs where guys are nasty and they would just take something and it wouldn't be there. And they put the pipe through and the guys come back. They would have to figure out how to connect it back. But I'm not going to do that. That's not productive. So anyway, long video, but an important video because I was dying to get up here and get this vent in before they got here. And when I heard that they were sending a crew of 4, it made me rush even more to try to get up here. And to no avail. Oh, here's another neat trick. That's a 2x10. These are 2x8s. See where I had to take that crescent out? And then they changed back over here to 2x6s. So that was interesting. I'm going along 2x8, 2x8, and all of a sudden, wham, I run into 2x10, which changed the game totally. But it's the end of the day. Probably tomorrow I'll extend this out, make a turn, and try to determine which wall it's going to wind up in. We know it's that wall over there. That wall right there is where the vents are coming up. So that's the story. Other news for today is the tubs are picked up. The Boonts, Maui's. This is a great tub if I'm not supporting or knocking down this company, but Home Depot carries them. This is what attracted me. It's a 16 5/8. It's a deep tub, nice and deep. Average tub is probably 14 or somewhere around there. This is 16.5, almost 17. Probably one of the deepest tubs you could find. They make them deeper, but they'd be like a jacuzzi. So we got 5 of these because there are 5 bathrooms. I noticed one is wrong, so I left that box sealed up. It has to go back. So anyway, that's the story. As you see here, I had to move my whole work set up here. I do believe I got to move it back downstairs again because I wanted to tie just one vent, which I've got that accomplished, which is this one. So now I have air all the way down to the ceiling in the first floor. I have that connection now, which is good. So there you go. We'll see what happens when these guys come back and, I don't know, whatever we're going to do. See ya.